All right, get ready because today we're going to really dig into gamification and how you can use it in B2B marketing.
Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, and it's gaining a lot of traction for good reason.
I think our listener is probably looking to find ways to make their marketing more effective and really boost engagement.
For sure. And they've come to the right place.
We've got some great research here from a recent industry report that's just jam-packed with insights, and this deep dive is going to be like unlocking achievements in a game.
Exactly. We are going to uncover some powerful strategies and real-world examples.
Plus, maybe even point out some pitfalls to avoid so you can level up your marketing game.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
So to kick things off, maybe you can help our listener understand what exactly we mean by gamification.
Sure. So when we talk about gamification in B2B marketing, what we're really talking about is incorporating those elements we love in games.
You mean like points and leaderboards and challenges?
Exactly.
Like you win rewards and stuff.
Right. But it's not just about slapping on a game like veneer. It's about really leveraging those mechanics to drive specific actions.
And I think it's especially important in B2B because the sales cycles can be so long and complex.
Yeah, you need to find ways to keep people engaged, and gamification can really help with that.
You know, I'll be honest, when I first heard about gamification, I thought it was more for B2C brands.
Yeah, I can see why you might think that.
But the more I learn about it, the more I see how powerful it can be for B2B, especially now with all the competition for attention online.
Right. It's not about creating a full-blown video game or
Oh,
anything.
no, of course not.
It's about understanding why games are so compelling, that sense of achievement, that progress you make, that friendly competition, and applying those principles to boost your marketing ROI.
And the research is pretty convincing. I mean, Mordor Intelligence found that adding these gamified elements can lead to a 30% average increase in engagement.
And customer loyalty.
Wow, that's a huge jump.
Yeah. And when you consider that businesses using gamification are seeing a 25.3% increase in sales conversions,
That's huge.
it's clear that this is not just some passing trend.
So we know there's a lot of potential here, but how about some specific strategies?
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
What can our listener actually implement like right now?
Okay, well, one of my favorite strategies is interactive content because it really positions you as a valuable resource.
But it also makes the whole learning process more engaging.
Right. Think about like personality assessments that help potential clients understand their needs, or knowledge tests that showcase your expertise.
Those are great examples.
They not only provide valuable insights, but they also create that aha moment.
And you want to create those sticky experiences that leave a lasting impression.
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of room for creativity here too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what about loyalty and reward systems?
So this is where you tap into positive reinforcement.
Oh, I like this.
Instead of just generic points, you could have a tiered system with badges or titles that reflect different levels of engagement, or maybe offer exclusive content or early access to new features
That's a good one.
as rewards.
It's about making people feel valued and recognized for their participation.
Exactly, like they're part of an exclusive club. And that feeling of belonging is so powerful in B2B.
Where relationships are key.
Right. Another strategy that I think is really effective is progressive learning and certifications.
Oh yeah, turning your onboarding or training materials into a gamified experience.
Exactly. It's like leveling up in a game. It's not only more enjoyable, but it also increases knowledge retention.
And ultimately client satisfaction.
For sure.
It's like turning what could be a dry process into something exciting,
Exactly.
like a journey of discovery.
Yeah, and those certifications become valuable credentials for professionals in their field.
I like it. And what about friendly competition?
Oh, leaderboards.
I was just thinking that.
Those are a classic game mechanic.
Yeah.
That can be so effective in B2B, especially when you tie it to user-generated content or participation in online communities.
It's like tapping into that natural desire for recognition.
And encourages healthy competition.
It could work really well in a professional setting.
Yeah, it's not just about bragging rights. It's about showcasing thought leadership and contributing to the community.
It's about motivating people to go above and beyond.
Exactly. And speaking of motivation, we can't overlook gamifying sales incentives for your internal teams.
Oh, that's interesting.
Setting up challenges with clear goals and enticing rewards can really boost morale.
Yeah, and drive performance.
It's like having a mini sales tournament within your own organization.
It's brilliant.
It's a win-win.
Hmm.
Your team feels motivated, and your business benefits from that increased productivity.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I know what our listener might be thinking. Could gamification make a B2B brand seem less professional
That's a really good point.
with all this talk of points and leaderboards and stuff?
The key is alignment. Your gamification strategy should blend seamlessly with your brand identity.
And your target audience.
Right, it's about finding that sweet spot between engagement and professionalism.
So subtlety is key.
Exactly. Instead of flashy game-like visuals, think about incorporating progress bars or milestone markers into your client portal.
Or using industry-specific terminology and challenges that resonate with their professional expertise.
Yeah, you want to enhance your brand, not undermine it.
Okay, that makes sense. But do we have any real-world examples of this?
Actually, the report you provided highlights a fantastic case study.
Oh, perfect.
This company, Mutiny, they specialize in AI-powered website personalization.
Interesting.
They launched this campaign called Serve AI Vor.
Serve AI Vor.
Yeah, it's a play on words.
Flipper.
And they wanted to educate their users about AI workflows, which can be a complex topic.
Sure.
But instead of just doing webinars or white papers, they created an interactive digital experience that was structured like a game.
So they turned a potentially dry subject into something fun and engaging?
Exactly. The participants were immersed in a simulated AI challenge,
Wow.
competing against each other.
That sounds like a cool campaign.
It was a huge success.
Really?
They achieved a 40x return on their investment.
40x, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really shows what you can achieve with gamification when you do it right.
But I imagine there are some potential pitfalls to avoid.
Oh yeah, like any marketing strategy, gamification requires careful planning.
Of course.
One of the biggest mistakes companies make is overcomplicating the experience.
If it's too hard, users will just disengage.
Exactly. Simplicity and clarity are key. You don't want it to feel like a chore.
Right, it should be fun.
Exactly. And another pitfall is neglecting data and insights.
What do you mean by that?
You need to track how people are interacting with the gamified elements.
So track their engagement.
Yeah, analyze their behavior and use that data to refine your campaigns.
So it's not just about implementing the strategies, it's about constantly evaluating and improving.
Based on real-world feedback.
Right, makes sense. Are there any other potential downsides we should watch out for?
Yeah, another one is becoming too reliant on extrinsic rewards.
So like offering discounts or giveaways?
Right, it can be tempting to boost initial engagement, but you don't want people to only participate for the free stuff.
So you have to find a balance between the extrinsic and intrinsic motivation.
Exactly. You want to create an experience that's inherently rewarding.
Where users feel a sense of accomplishment.
And progress.
It's not just about giving away freebies.
No, it's about creating a genuinely engaging and valuable experience.
I like it. And I think perhaps the most important pitfall to avoid is failing to align your gamification efforts with your overall marketing and sales objectives.
Absolutely. Gamification shouldn't be a separate tactic.
It needs to be integrated into your strategy.
Exactly. Think about what you want to achieve: lead generation, brand awareness, customer loyalty, and then design your gamified experiences to support those goals.
That's a really important point.
It's all connected.
Okay, well, this has been a fantastic overview.
We've covered a lot of ground.
I'm already feeling inspired.
I agree.
There's so much potential here.
Absolutely.
And we're just getting started.
We're just scratching the surface.
Stay tuned because in the next part of our deep dive
We're going to go even deeper.
into the nuances of gamification and B2B marketing,
Can't wait.
it's going to be great.
Welcome back. Yeah, I'm really excited to kind of like dig deeper into some of those nuances we talked about before.
Okay, yeah, like that balance between engagement and making sure it's not too overwhelming.
Exactly, because I think it's easy to get carried away with all the possibilities.
For sure.
So I think one of the most important things is like really understanding your audience.
Okay.
Are they already familiar with these kinds of gamified experiences, or will this be something totally new to them?
Yeah, that makes sense because a seasoned sales team might be ready for like a complex leaderboard system,
Right.
but a group of new clients who are going through like a training module might benefit from something simpler.
Yeah, like a more linear progression system.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's about tailoring that complexity to their comfort level and experience. And another thing to keep in mind is that even if you have those really intricate game mechanics,
Yeah.
you need to make sure the instructions are clear
Right.
and that the interface is user-friendly.
Yeah. It's got to be easy to use.
Think about like popular games. They don't just throw you into the deep end without any guidance.
Right.
You know, you might have tooltips or onboarding tutorials or even interactive guides.
Just to make sure the experience is seamless.
Exactly.
You don't want people to feel lost or frustrated.
Okay, now let's talk about data.
Data.
It's so essential for successful gamification.
Yeah, you mentioned tracking earlier, and it's not just about those vanity metrics.
Right. It's not just about how many people clicked on a button. You need to really understand what's motivating your audience.
Okay, so what are some of those key metrics we should be paying attention to?
Well, I mean, it depends on your objectives,
Sure.
but think about tracking participation rates in challenges, completion rates for training modules,
Yeah.
even the time spent on specific content.
Oh, that's interesting.
It can really reveal what's resonating with people.
And where there might be drop-off points.
Exactly. It's like analyzing gameplay data to understand where players are getting stuck.
Okay, I like that analogy.
And don't underestimate the power of qualitative feedback either.
Oh, you mean like surveys?
Yeah, surveys, polls within your platform, even open-ended feedback in your online community
It's about getting that direct input
to understand how people are experiencing it.
and what they'd like to see improved.
Exactly. And I think this data-driven approach is really what separates the effective gamification from those gimmicks.
It's not just about slapping on some game-like elements and hoping for the best.
No, it's about using data to continuously refine and optimize the experience.
Make it better.
So let's circle back to something we touched on earlier,
Okay.
the importance of intrinsic motivation,
Yeah, we talked about extrinsic rewards.
discounts and stuff.
Yeah, which can be effective in the short term.
But how do you create an experience that really resonates on a deeper level?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Like one that fosters genuine engagement.
And keeps them coming back for more.
One powerful approach is to focus on that sense of accomplishment and progression.
Okay, I like that.
Think about those moments in games where you finally overcome a challenge or you unlock a new level.
Yeah.
That feeling is so motivating.
It's like that feeling of pride when you earn a badge.
Exactly. It's not just some virtual trinket. It's a symbol of your hard work.
And dedication.
You can replicate that in B2B by creating clear pathways for users to level up their knowledge or expertise.
Okay, so offer certifications upon completing training modules or create a tiered system with increasingly challenging tasks.
You got it.
Showcase those achievements.
Publicly within your platform.
So it's about recognizing and rewarding those who go above and beyond,
Exactly. And I think that sense of progress can be especially motivating in a professional setting
where people are always looking to grow.
to advance their careers.
Yeah.
Another key element of intrinsic motivation is personalization.
Personalization.
Just like a good game adapts to your play style, your gamified experience should cater to the needs and interests of your audience.
So not a one-size-fits-all.
Right. Segment your audience based on their industry, their role, even their level of engagement with your brand.
Okay.
Offer personalized recommendations for content.
Or challenges.
Create branching pathways within your gamified systems.
So they can choose their own adventure.
Exactly. And it gives them that sense of ownership, which can be really powerful.
I like that.
And let's not forget the social aspect.
The social aspect.
A lot of games thrive on that sense of community and competition.
Right, like online multiplayer games.
Even social media.
People love connecting with others who share their interests.
Exactly. So leverage that in your B2B gamification. Create team-based challenges.
Okay.
Foster those online communities where users can discuss strategies or share their achievements.
I like it.
You could even incorporate live events or webinars where people can interact in real time.
It's like a virtual water cooler where they can bond over their passion.
And speaking of passion, I think it's important to remember that B2B doesn't have to be boring.
Yeah, inject a little fun.
A little personality,
Should we be creative?
humor, a touch of whimsy.
Make it memorable.
Make it enjoyable because when people are having fun,
They're more likely to learn
to participate.
and become loyal advocates for your brand.
Exactly.
Okay, we've talked about strategies,
Data,
pitfalls.
motivation.
Let's bring it all together for our listener. What are some key takeaways here?
I think first and foremost, remember that gamification is not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay.
It's about finding what works best for your audience, for your brand, and for your objectives.
So it's about customization,
Adaptation.
not blindly following some template.
Exactly, and start small.
You know, don't try to implement everything at once.
Focus on one or two key elements.
Track your results.
Gather feedback.
Iterate based on what you learn.
It's like building a game level by level.
Yeah, you start with the foundation and then you add complexity as you go.
Exactly, and finally remember that data is your compass.
Okay.
Don't rely on guesswork.
Use those insights to optimize.
Your gamified experiences.
Make data-driven decisions.
As you continue to learn and experiment, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
This has been such an insightful discussion.
It's a topic I'm really passionate about.
Yes, I'm feeling inspired.
We're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
And speaking of possibilities, I can't wait to explore the future of gamification in our next segment.
The future.
Stay tuned as we delve into the world of emerging technologies.
The exciting new frontiers of B2B engagement.
It's going to be awesome. And we are back for the final part of our deep dive on gamification in B2B marketing.
Yeah, we've really covered a lot of ground already, from strategies and data to the psychology of what makes it all so engaging.
But I feel like we're just getting started.
Oh, for sure we are. Just at the beginning, there's so much more to explore.
Especially when we think about how fast technology is changing.
Right, the future of gamification is looking pretty exciting.
That's exactly what I want to talk about in this last part. Like, how are all these emerging technologies going to reshape B2B gamification?
Well, I think technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality and even the metaverse are going to play a huge role.
Yeah, I mean, they offer such immersive experiences, you can really blur the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
Exactly. Imagine attending a virtual trade show where you can not only browse the booths, but also interact with products in AR.
Or network with people in VR.
And maybe even participate in gamified challenges to win rewards.
It's like those interactive training modules we were talking about before, but on a whole other level.
Right. Instead of just clicking through slides, you're actually transported into a simulated environment.
Yeah, and you can learn by doing.
And think about onboarding new clients or training employees.
Oh, that's a great point.
Imagine a gamified VR experience where they can virtually step into their work environment,
They can complete tasks
interact with colleagues.
and get up to speed so quickly.
It's like a flight simulator for B2B professionals.
I love that. And what about the metaverse?
The metaverse is a game changer, I think.
Yeah, it opens up so many possibilities for collaboration and interaction.
You could have virtual conferences with networking events and presentations and even workshops.
All within a gamified environment that tracks their progress and rewards them for their engagement.
The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It's not just about replicating existing experiences, it's about creating entirely new forms of engagement.
That we couldn't have even imagined before.
Okay, so we've talked about AR, VR, and the metaverse. What about artificial intelligence?
Oh, AI is going to be huge, I think.
I was just thinking that.
We talked about how important data is.
For optimizing these experiences.
But AI can take it even further.
Okay, how so?
Well, AI algorithms can actually personalize those gamified experiences in real time.
Wow.
So it can tailor the difficulty of challenges.
The types of rewards.
Even the storyline based on each user's individual preferences and their behavior.
So it's like having a virtual game master who's constantly adapting the experience.
Exactly, to keep each player engaged and having fun.
AI can also analyze huge amounts of data.
Right, to identify patterns and trends that we might miss as humans.
So we can understand what motivates different audiences.
What game mechanics are most effective
And even predict potential problems.
before they become major issues.
It's like having a crystal ball for gamification.
It's pretty powerful stuff.
This is all so fascinating.
I know, right?
But unfortunately, we do need to wrap up our deep dive.
I agree, we've covered a lot.
We've explored the strategies, the technology, the psychology,
The data.
and the future of gamification in B2B marketing.
It's been quite a journey.
I hope our listener is feeling inspired.
Empowered to try some of these ideas.
Before we go, any final words of wisdom?
Yeah, remember that gamification is all about human connection.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's about tapping into that desire for challenge and achievement and recognition.
Don't lose sight of the human element.
Amidst all the tech and data,
Yeah, it's not about turning everything into a video game.
it's about finding those elements of play that resonate with your audience.
And make their experience better.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things.
Push the boundaries.
Be creative. There's no one right way to do this.
Find what works best for you.
That's the beauty of it.
I love that. Embrace the power of play.
And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
I've learned so much.
Me too.
A huge thank you to our expert for sharing their expertise with us.
It was my pleasure.
And to our listener, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive as much as we have.
We hope you're feeling inspired to level up your marketing efforts.
Thanks for joining us.